Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start the proceedings of the inaugural function. May I request everyone to please settle down and keep your mobile phones on silent mode. Thank you. A very good morning to all of you. Yeah. It's an honor to be standing here today on behalf of IIM Visakhapatnam fraternity to extend a warm welcome to everyone present for this inaugural of the very first batch of the postgraduate diploma program in management for executives. Congratulations and a hearty welcome to the participants of the PGDMEx batch 2026-27. You are the reason we have gathered here today to celebrate the beginning of your learning journey. I welcome our chief guest, Dr. Pudi Hariprasad, Principal Financial Advisor, South Coast Railway, Government of India. Welcome, sir. I also extend a warm welcome to Shri Manavendra Singh, Chief Executive Officer, Accredion, our Director, Professor M. Chandrasekhar, PGDMEx Chairperson, Professor Amit Shankar, as well to this sermon. I also extend a warm welcome to other dignitaries present, my faculty and staff colleagues, and friends from media. The ceremonial lighting of the lamp symbolizes the dispelling of darkness and the spread of knowledge, wisdom, and hope. It reflects our collective aspiration that education, enlightenment will guide us toward progress, growth, and prosperity. I now request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly inaugurate the function by lighting the lamp. It is indeed a privilege to address you all today as the chairperson of admissions on this memorable occasion. Today is not merely the commencement of an academic program, but the beginning of a journey that will shape your perspectives, strengthen your leadership abilities, and prepare you to create meaningful impact in your respective domains. At this juncture, I am delighted to present the batch profile of the PGDMEx batch 2026-27. The admissions process for the PGDMEx 2026 followed a three-phase approach: online application screening, followed by a written test and personal interview. Final selection was based on a merit list considering test scores and interview performance. Our new cohort is truly exceptional, and it is my pleasure to share a brief profile of our participants, showcasing the diversity, talent, and experience that each of you brings to this program. I am particularly delighted to note that even in the inaugural batch of this program, we have achieved a healthy gender balance that is comparable to the diversity levels maintained across our other academic programs. This reflects our strong commitment to fostering an inclusive learning environment where individuals from diverse backgrounds and perspectives come together to learn, collaborate, and grow. We believe that such diversity enriches discussions, broadens viewpoints, and enhances the overall learning experience for everyone. Education is another area where this cohort shines. Our participants hold degrees from some of the prestigious institutes and universities. Many of you have degrees in fields such as engineering, sciences, and management. The strong academic foundation, combined with your professional experience, sets the stage for deep, meaningful discussions and innovative problem solving throughout your time in the program. Our participants come from across India with representation from multiple states, in fact, 17 states, reflecting the geographical and cultural diversity that adds so much depth to peer learning. This pan India representation is a strong testament to the widespread appeal of the PGDMEx program. On the age front, the average age of the batch stands at 34 years. The age profile of the cohort reveals a healthy spread, with participants falling into various age brackets that bring both youthful energy and seasoned insight to the learning environment. While the average age reflects a mid career professional group, the range ensures a dynamic exchange of ideas, approaches, and leadership styles. Our PGDMEx participants come with an impressive average of over 13 years of professional experience. Many of you hold senior management positions, leading teams, departments, and even entire organizations. Your collective experience spans a wide range of industries: IT, banking, manufacturing, etc. This wealth of experience not only enriches our program, but also creates a dynamic learning environment where you can learn as much from each other as from the curriculum. As you embark on this journey, remember that PGDMEx is more than just a program. It is a journey of transformation, a journey where academic rigor meets professional insight, and where every participant contributes to the collective growth of the cohort. You will be challenged to think critically, to collaborate effectively, and to lead with integrity. The relationships you build here will become a vital part of your professional network, and the experiences you share will shape your future in profound ways. In closing, I congratulate all of you for taking this important step in your professional journey. Your decision to join this program reflects not only your ambition, but also your commitment to continuous learning and leadership excellence. We at IIM Visakhapatnam are honored to be part of this journey and are fully committed to supporting your growth and success. Thank you and welcome to the PGDMEx program. Let's make your time with us extraordinary. Professor Amit Shankar, I entrust the participants of the PGDMEx batch 2026 to you. With this, I invite Professor Amit Shankar, Chairperson PGDMEx, for his address.
Good morning, everyone. So today we are starting our 1 year of journey together in Diploma program. This journey will be very unique for you, and I must appreciate the decision which you have taken in current era when you are working for the corporates, working for 4, 5 or 6 days, and after that you have taken a call that I will also learn on 6th and 7th day. So it will be not easy task for anyone, but you have taken that decision with courage to learn, relearn, and learn new skills so you can still be relevant. In the era of AI, people talking about build human being will be relevant. I am very sure about it, but these kinds of program will help you to making and contributing more to the corporate worlds. As I am the faculty of marketing, I'll explain in this course you required 4P. And 4P will very helpful for you when you are going through the program. First P, which is process. There will be a process in terms of classes. There will be a process in terms of attendance. There will be process in terms of examination. There will be process in terms of how you are getting the degree. So the process is very much important in this program, and you have to go with the process. Second P is very much required, called patience. As I said, Sunday afternoon, after lunch classes, it's very difficult to handle. You must have patience so you can be in class, contribute to the class, and engage with the class. So second P, which very much required. Many time you might think that why I had enrolled this in this course, my weekend are going. But that patience will give you too much of fruits, that we are very much sure. So the patience which is required, and the same, you must have persistence also, because this persistence will give you understanding that how you can go with the flow of the course. And last P, which you will get through this course, called peer. When I was going through the profile, the peer advantage you are having, this peer learning, you must leverage this peer learning. We always say in the executive education course like this or program like this, it's not monologue. It's not dialogue also. It's multivariate log when dialogue is happening, where people are discussing, engaging with each other. I must urge all the participants who joined for this course, take the and leverage the beauty of the peer which you are having, learn from each other, and definitely use the asset which we call network assets. With this, on behalf of IIM Visakhapatnam, I welcome you all for 1 year journey together. All the very best and welcome to the program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words to the participants. I would now like to introduce Shri Manavinder Singh, Chief Executive Officer, Accredian. Shri Manavinder Singh is the founder and CEO of Accredian, one of India's leading executive education and upskilling platforms focused on working professionals. An alumnus of the Indian School of Business, he brings close to 2 decades of experience across the technology, consulting, and higher education sectors. Prior to founding Accredian, he worked with multiple high-growth ventures, including an incubated startup under Tech Mahindra, where he played a key role in driving business growth and strategic initiatives. With a strong vision to bridge the gap between industry and academia, he co-founded Accredian along with his fellow founders to build industry-relevant programs in collaboration with premier institutions. Under his leadership, Accredian has partnered with leading universities and institutions to deliver transformative learning experiences for professionals across domains. Sir, I now request you to address the gathering.
All right. Thank you, Professor, for that introduction. And first of all, I would want to welcome each one of you to this inaugural batch of PGDM. I can understand that, as Professor Amit mentioned, that balancing family, job, and weekend learning is going to be challenging, but that's what we have consciously signed up for, because with challenges only we grow, and we are at that stage in our career, most of us, where we are asking the question, what's next, right, for us? Yeah. And hopefully through this 1 year transformative journey, you would be able to delve a little deeper in an academic format and find out what's next for you. Now, since this is the inaugural batch and we are sitting here on the first day, it reminds me of my first day at ISB 12 years back, when we entered the classroom and we are hearing, from all the guest lectures. One thing I can tell you is that the next 1 year is going to be a roller coaster ride. Yeah. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very challenging. But three perspectives we want to definitely build and develop over the next 1 year that will completely transform your perspective and your leadership style. I want to talk a little bit about that. First and foremost is all of us are masters of what we are currently doing. But in this 1 year, if we can change our lens of looking at things from a more strategic lens, that would greatly benefit you as you progress in the future. Most of the times we become very good at what we are doing, but that is the very thing that prevents us from getting those enterprise wide opportunities where we are considered not only as functional leader or he does this or she does this really well, but he or she can lead a entire department at maybe Infosys managing 1 lakh people or 2 lakh people or an entire geography. That is the goal that we need to have, that everything that we are looking, we should not be looking that strategy is something that our CXOs are making and we are executing it. We have to ingrain strategy and strategic thinking in our DNA. And just by doing this, you would see that you're not only maximizing on the ROI of this program, but your career acceleration will be on top gear just by doing this. That curbing those instinct to get more functional and just zooming out again and again. That is really important, and I hope that you build that mental muscle even more during this 1 year program. Second is working on your blind spot. Blind spots are very important because blind spots sometimes are the only things that are preventing us from actually uh, going and becoming the best version of ourselves. Some of you might want to work as entrepreneurs. Some of you might want to work as digital nomads or consultants also. Nobody wants to work for 30 years in this fast changing world. Yeah. And the important thing is you might have ideas. How do you convert or translate those ideas into execution? That is going to be important. And a lot of time our blind spots are the only things that are preventing us from taking that leap. And when I entered ISB, I thought that I know a lot. But when I entered ISB, I realized that I know very little. For example, one of the subjects that I found very, very challenging during ISB days was the subject called statistics. I was like, why are they teaching all of these things, normal distribution curve and P values and these values, etc. But what I realized is that the reason I was complaining about those particular subjects is because I was weak in those, right? And those are the very things that you have to focus even more, right, during this 1 year journey. And that will make you a more well-rounded leader during this 1 year journey. And the third and the most important thing about this program and when you become a part of a prestigious institution is confidence level that you will automatically see when you're positioning yourself for leadership roles within your organizations. But more importantly, actually translating the ideas that you have into those opportunities. And what I mean by that is that you have a fantastic peer group here. One of the weapons that you will get, the magic wand that you will get, is access to the entire alumni network of IIM Visakhapatnam. And that is a very, very powerful alumni network. Very recently, we came from an international immersion in Dubai, and there you had the country manager of Sony Ericsson, a country head of Sony Ericsson, people leading huge teams in India. You had very senior officials in governments who are enrolled in different programs. And that is the real leverage that this program will give you beyond learning that you have to actually use. And that you will be able to use only when you reach out to people, right? I'm not sure how many of us have watched that video of Steve Jobs talking about reaching out for help. If we want an opportunity, if you want something, reach out for help, and most likely someone or the else someone or the other will actually help you out. Yeah. So those are the three things I wanted to share with you. I want to welcome you again to this amazing program, and hope you have an amazing learning journey. And as much as we can support you, I would really encourage you to focus on these three things: strategic lens, working on your blind spot, and reaching out to people and your peer network and overall alumni group of I am Visakhapatnam for anything that you need. I think if you marry all these three things together, this 1 year will be totally worth it. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir, for addressing the gathering here. Friends, I am Visakhapatnam is growing leaps and bounds under the able leadership of Professor M. Chandrasekhar. Professor Chandrasekhar is the director of I am Visakhapatnam since March 2017. I now invite Professor Chandrasekhar for his address and provide insights into the learning journey ahead.
Thank you, Prashant. Respected Dr. Hariprasad ji, Indian Railway Account Service Officer of 1996 batch, Principal Financial Advisor of the East Coast Railway. It's a newly formed zone, as you would know. Shri Manav, my colleagues, and dear participants. I join my colleagues who have spoken prior to me in congratulating you and also welcoming you to this institute with which you will be associated not just for 1 year as a student, but as the speakers who spoke prior to me said, for your entire work careers, over the entire span of your work careers and beyond, you will be the alumni of this prestigious institution. You know, my colleague spoke about the power of network. You know, we have, if you look at capital, there is physical capital. For example, the room we are sitting in, there is financial capital, there is human capital. There is also something called as network capital. If n of you are able to talk to n minus 1 people, the power of the network instantaneously gets squared. So tomorrow you have anything to ask, anything to seek advice on, anything kind of to share, you have in this batch about 75 colleagues, the peers with whom you can just pick up a phone. You know them by face, you know what they do, you know what their strengths are. So instantaneously the help beyond the classroom is available with you. And this is the biggest advantage of programs like this. You know, friends, the power of management education, irrespective of what doubting Thomases might say, it is increasing by the day. Because as popularly it is said, in the age of AI, you know, answers may be easily available. But the toughest part is judging which answer is correct. There are many, you know, you put Claude, you put Gemini, you put ChatGPT, you ask something, it will throw some answers at you. For example, I was doing, who is Chandrasekhar? I am Visakhapatnam, I was asking. It said I studied in IIM Ahmedabad. It said I worked in ISB and all that. None of it is correct. Because I know, I well discounted it. So you have to understand, making a judgment is very important, and programs like this, the PG Diploma, will give you that power in your hands. For example, Hariprasad Saab sitting here, he handles 21,000 crore rupees. 21,000 crores as his budget in his zone. He has 2 MBA degrees. And why did the government, when it formed this zone, it trusted him with this responsibility of not just, you know, you have to allocate resources. If it's a zone, you have to allocate manpower, you have to allocate finances, you know, you have to manage the operations, etc. So the power of MBA is that you can manage all this. At the end of the day, all of us, when we what do we do in our organizations? You need to allocate resources efficiently so that the productivity and profitability increase, they rise. And programs like this, as I repeat, whether it is planning, whether it is organizing, whether it is communicating, whether it is motivating, whether it is influencing, whether it is measurement and evaluation, whether it is developing yourself and others, this is the power that management education will put in your hands. And coming as it does from an institution, at the risk of sounding immodest, I must say, you have already joined with us, but to kind of reassure you, to reinforce your faith, the faith and trust that you have placed in this institution, I would like to say, in the year 25-26, which is the just concluded financial year, in that year, thanks to very helpful, supportive, able, and capable partners like Accredion, we have conducted 132 programs like this, which is a 21% increase over the previous year. We trained 6,200 participants like you, which is a 22% increase over its previous year. If you look at, for example, Prashant was talking about the gender diversity. In the last year, when we trained 6,200 participants, the women participation increased by 26%. If you look at, for example, if 10 persons are attending, each one of them is attending a training program for 10 hours. 10 persons, 10 hours. 10 into 10 is 100. If you cumulate that, last year we delivered 335,000 hours of content, which is again a 15% increase over the previous year. You are in a diploma granting program, which we call as academic title-oriented programs. It's either a degree or a diploma. When we started in 2000, this institute was established in 2015. 2016 was the second year where you had, we run the flagship MBA program, take the students through the CAT exam, etc. So in 2016, we had both the first year and second year students with us. In 2016, we had 100 students. Today, as I speak, we have 1,600 students in our degree and diploma granting programs, which is a 16-time increase since. And this is the trust that people like all of you have placed in us. And this is the value that we have delivered. I would like to rest assure you, stay rest assured. I am telling this as the director, as the head of this institution, that you shall derive the full value of the time, effort, finances that you would be investing in this program. Absolutely have no doubt about it at all. I would like to conclude by saying that, it's always said, and in fact, the person who said, there is an organization called Lockheed Martin Corporation. Lockheed Martin Corporation is the largest defense manufacturer in the entire world. Their turnover, if you roughly, is about 70 billion US dollars. If you count roughly $1 is equal to 100 rupees, it means 7 lakh crore rupees. That's their turnover. There is a gentleman by name Norman Augustine. Past, he's still alive, but maybe about 20 years ago, he was the chairman and CEO of Lockheed Martin Corporation. And he wrote a beautiful book called Augustine's Laws, L-A-W-S, Augustine's Laws. In that, if you can, I'm not an agent of Norman Augustine, but it's a good book. In case you happen to pick it up, do read it. It's written in a very easy to read style, very, very ironic, full of irony, satire, pun, and all that. A very interesting book to read. And whatever he might have written 20 years back is still relevant in this current world and current times. So he says that one sentence which he says is, your true potential is your heaviest burden. Because you have so much of potential, the burden weighs heavily on your conscience that you must do a little better, little quicker, little faster, little more efficiently in whatever you do. The second thing, what he said, particularly for people like you who are attending programs like this, he said organizations are made up of three kinds of people. One, who make things happen. Two, who watch things happen. Three, who ask what happened. By attending this program, you are firmly in the first bracket. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom for the participants. You never cease to inspire us, and I'm sure with you leading from the front, we are only going to grow higher and higher. Thank you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for me to introduce our chief guest for the day, Dr. Pudi Hariprasad, Principal Financial Advisor, South Coast Railway, Government of India. Dr. Hariprasad is a 1994 batch Indian Railways Account Service Officer of the Civil Services and is presently working as Chief Administrative Officer, Treasury and Reconciliation for the Indian Railways. He hails from Srikakulam district in Andhra Pradesh and is an academician at heart. He's a BTech in Civil Engineering, MBA Marketing and Finance, LLB from Andhra University, and also holds a doctorate. His PhD thesis was on power sector reforms. He has held numerous important appointments during civil services career spanning over 30 years as Divisional Accounts Officer and Finance Manager in various grades at Southeastern Railways, Ranchi, East Coast Railways, Sambalpur, Voltaire, and Bhubaneswar, besides holding the post of Financial Advisor and CAO of the Diesel Locomotive Works, Varanasi. He was also Director Finance and Planning, HRD APEPDCL, Visakhapatnam, Government of Andhra Pradesh. In all these appointments, he has proved himself and brought outstanding results for the organizations like creating of new divisional office in Ranchi, increasing revenues for the APEPDCL, and implementing indigenization and transformation of electric loco production. In his previous appointment as Joint Secretary, Department of Ex-Servicemen Welfare, Ministry of Defense, he has formulated policies for healthcare, welfare, resettlement, pension for veterans. He also supervised Kendriya Sainik Board raising funds for the AFFDF through public and CSR initiatives. His notable achievements in the previous tenure includes successful defense of one rank, one pension, Government of India policy in the Honorable Supreme Court. He saved more than 2 lakh crore rupees to the Government of India. He has played significant role in the implementation of system for pension administration and formulating reservation policy issues of ex-servicemen, mainly Project Punasthapan, reskilling and resettlement. He has helped formulate policy for the integration of Ayush system in ex-servicemen contributory health scheme. His innovative approach has led to a landmark rise in collection of Armed Forces Flag Day Fund from around rupees 2 to 3 crores per year to around rupees 45 crores per year. The Armed Forces Flag Day Fund made broad-based with more participation of citizens and private sector. He made significant efforts in organizing additional funds for ECHS and AFFDF to clear backlog payments and improve the quality of these schemes. He has been instrumental in taking innovative steps to prepare transformative healthcare initiatives like the door delivery of medicines for ex-servicemen and their dependents. The healthcare of veterans was taken up to the best satisfaction by way of increasing the number of polyclinics and upgradation of high footfall polyclinics and increasing the reach to far-flung and hilly areas. Resettlement training to ex-servicemen has taken a new height in the form of awarding graduation degree by Andhra University to ex-servicemen based on record office itemized mark sheet. This has gone a long way to give greater recognition to the industry as well as academia. In the current assignment as Chief Administrative Officer, he is responsible for reconciling the total earnings of the Indian Railways accruing through various business applications like FOIS, PRS, PMS, UTS, etc. This process is going to culminate in creation of an integrated centralized receipt system. This is aimed at protecting revenue, elimination of frauds, and concurrent reconciliation with the banking system. With his vast experience in the field of public infrastructure finance, project implementation, and management in sectors like railways, power and energy, defense, public policy, he has a vision for the government to develop a policy framework for better governance and management. We are truly honored to have him with us to deliver the commencement speech of the PGDMEx batch of 2026. Sir, I now request you to deliver the inaugural address.
Then the speech, lights. Thank you, Professor Prashant Prem Kumarji. So I took permission from Dr. Chandrasekhar Garu to permit me to give the prepared speech. And if time is available, then I will take you through that presentation. That presentation I have given to the Civil Services batch at National Institute of Financial Management, Faridabad. So, because this is a very learned gathering here, I don't want to waste your time, and I am at least I have been given 2 minutes ahead of the schedule. I have been slotted between 10:40 to 11. So I think I will be able to cover both, sir. So I'll commence this speech from the written script, which I obviously have used the AI tools also, but I have given the proper content to them, and so I have extracted the better content. So good morning to the distinguished faculty members, respected Director Professor M. Chandrasekhar Garu, Professor Amit Shankar, Professor Prashant Prem Kumar Nair, um, and participants of the inaugural PGDMEx batch 2026-27, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and a matter of great personal satisfaction to be present today at IIM Visakhapatnam for the inaugural session of this prestigious executive program. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to each participant who has earned a place in this distinguished batch. Executive education differs fundamentally from conventional academic learning. It represents a deliberate commitment by working professionals to pause, reflect, enhance their capabilities, and prepare themselves for greater responsibilities. India today stands at a pivotal moment of transformation. We were listening the Honorable Prime Minister talking about Viksit Bharat 2047, Amrit Kal, Panch Pran. So these are the basic foundational calls given by the chief executive of the government at the center to each one of us. It is not only to the civil servants, but also to the managers and prospective administrators of the private sector like you. So over the next 2 decades, our nation is poised to witness unprecedented advancements in infrastructure, logistics, manufacturing, digital governance, artificial intelligence, clean energy, urbanization, and financial systems. Institutions across both the public and private sectors will require a new generation of leaders capable of strategic thinking, ethical conduct, and effective execution. In such an environment, technical competence alone is no longer adequate. The true differentiator will be leadership. Today, I wish to speak not merely about management, but about the importance of managing oneself. Because ultimately, institutions are shaped by individuals who first learn to shape themselves. Peter Drucker once observed that great achievers such as Da Vinci, Mozart, and Napoleon excelled because they managed themselves effectively. In today's rapidly evolving world, every professional must cultivate this capability. But coming to my example, I play 9 holes of golf every morning and complete almost 12 hours of work in the office and go to Voltaire Club and have a swimming of 30 minutes every day, even now. Of course, my shape doesn't look like that. That is a different story, but I am still pursuing. This is because I am managing myself well. This is an axiom told by one of the professors by name Subramaniam while I was preparing for the civil services. So That is really an important thing for every one of us, whether it is in public service or private service. So most individuals spend years attempting to improve their weakness, whereas truly successful people recognize and build upon their strengths. One important lesson I learned during my years in public administration in the first 12 years, because later I have gone into the larger things, but the first three formative, around 12 years of my service, what was told about, like creation of Ranchi division and Sambalpur division, they are like different geographies and different challenges. With at that time, the a lot of issues with respect to Naxalism and all those areas. Those challenges have shaped me well in participating that particular ethos of managing myself well, so that I'll be able to deliver and contribute to the organization and society in a better manner. Large systems do not fail due to lack of intelligence. They fail because inadequate coordination, lack of clarity, weak accountability, and insufficient leadership. Management is concerned with maintaining systems efficiently, but leadership is concerned with transforming systems responsibly. So we are all here, uh, obviously, learning to become a great leader. Throughout my professional journey in finance, railway administration, power, defense, treasury systems, and institutional coordination and infrastructure related domains, I have repeatedly observed that leadership is fundamentally about managing people under conditions of uncertainty. Working in government imparts three particular important lessons. First, decisions must balance efficiency with equity. Second, institutions endure only when credibility and trust are preserved. Third, leadership often require taking difficult decisions amidst uncertainty. But this equally applies to private sector and corporate sector also, I strongly believe. It is not only for government. Today's professionals must therefore cultivate multidisciplinary thinking. The manager of the future must possess an integrated understanding of finance, technology, policy, human behavior, and sustainability rather than viewing them in isolation. Technology, in particular, is reshaping every sector. Artificial intelligence, automation, analytics, and digital governance are redefining institutional functioning. However, while technology enhances speed and efficiency, human judgment, ethics, and wisdom remain irreplaceable. The challenge before your generation, our generation, is not merely how to use technology, it is how to use technology responsibly. The classic case of what is going on between the big debate of responsible AI between the Anthropic and the OpenAI debate, where the mythos is going to shake all of us. When the Honorable Finance Minister has called the meeting of the top bankers to elicit what is going to happen once that Operation Glasswig is going to come out. There is an understanding between the consortium of those companies which they promoted to develop that, but sooner or the later it is going to come out. So each one of our lives is going to be affected by that particular AI tool, wherein it will find out, and either it can use it as maleficent tool to derail the systems, where it could be a passenger reservation system or a banking system or any of the system, because obviously all the software operating systems are riddled with some sort of weakness, which the human brain, the maker and the checker and the tester may not be knowing at this point of time, but that tool is already knowing it. So now the issue is, if it comes out, how our lives are going to affect it. So we as leaders should be ready with such kind of tools to handle them. Allow me to briefly share a few lessons from my own experience of setting up the Ranchi division, when I have been asked to go all the way to, Jharkhand at that time. I was very young, and I don't have much experience and no friendship, but I have delivered the creation of that division, of course, obviously with man management and better coordination with the local government and the top management of the railway board. I also realized something equally important. Informal bonds developed through sports, cultural activities, and human connection often strengthen institutions more profoundly than formal meetings. That's what Chandrasekhar sir was mentioning about the networking amongst you, and because you will be finding a lot of time to network each. Another important lesson I learned was the importance of challenging the status quo. So at Walter Division, the terminal charges which are being levied by the Port Trust were just being passed in huge crores of rupees. So, but the loco the Indian Railway loco is also going inside the Port Trust. So, where is the question of the port charging the for the Indian loco? So, thousands of crores of rupees have been paid. But one, my curiosity that why should we pay this extra? And they were deducting that freight and keeping themselves. Even though both are the government of India's organs, one organ is playing against the other. So I started questioning status quo, why it should happen. So then this entire thing has unearthed and a policy change has taken place. If the railway owned loco, because earlier you might have seen the cartoon that Thomas and all those things, where port owns their own locos. But it is not the case here because the electrification has happened. So the electric loco continues to go up to the terminal. So there is no point of them charging the charges. So this, questioning the status quo also benefits the organization. Many organizations become constrained by precedent. However, leadership requires asking, why are we doing this in this manner? Can it be improved? Can public value be enhanced? Progress begins when questioning becomes constructive. Leadership also requires the mature navigation of conflict. In large organizations, disagreements are inevitable. Healthy conflict, when managed appropriately, can strengthen institutions. The objective should never be to defeat individuals. The objective should be to improve outcomes. I strongly believe in encouraging constructive conflict, focus on issues rather than personalities, look forward rather than backward, pursue a larger purpose, transform disagreement into institutional learning. Some of the most difficult situations in administration arise not from technical problems but from human dynamics. At times, one must also navigate hostile industrial relations, stressful operational situations, and crisis environments. Friends, another major lesson from my career has been the importance of data-driven governance. We often speak about digital transformation, but technology alone does not create transformation. Culture creates transformation. Organizations must encourage employees to make decisions based on evidence and data rather than assumptions alone. This I have learned. One small course I have attended in Harvard Business School during the central staffing scheme. So the 2 weeks of training, they just won't let you, like Dr. Chandrasekhar is also warning you that there will be processes and your attendance will be there. So they have given a small project of what is the impact of funeral insurance in South Africa to a group of people like us. So, in many of the many governments intervene in social um, coverage, I mean welfare coverage in different form. So the digital insurance and the funeral insurance were a specific product introduced in South Africa. We have studied the data, and it is revealing that the data-driven governance, their status of honorable exit from the world has improved. So the data-driven governance and evidence-based policy design, which is it is a benchmark from the Abdul Jamil Institute of Poverty Elevation, which is chaired at Harvard Kennedy School of Government. Such type of experiments do happen not only at the Harvard level, but institutions like IIMs and people, the collective wisdom can create. So now data is not an issue. Information is not an issue. What is the issue is the wisdom. Rest all is only a click of a button. Any of the AI tools will throw and you will be able to find out. But what makes the difference is the wise men or the wise women whom they will use it and apply. So that is one kind of also thought which I thought I will data-driven governance. Digital transformation, but technology alone does not create transformation. Culture creates transformation. Organizations must encourage employees to make decisions based on evidence and data rather than assumptions alone. So assumptions should be minimized. Leadership must exemplify this behavior. At the same time, data systems must remain accessible and understandable to ordinary users. Technology becomes meaningful only when it empowers people rather than intimidating them. One challenge in public service is, still I remember, the other day I was traveling to Srikakulam and I somehow happened to stop in between. And I have seen two ladies in that our Srikakulam district attire are exchanging some kind of one lady wants to sell a mango and the other lady wants to really buy. But ultimately the deal didn't go through. So I was just observing why, the selling lady doesn't have a small carry bag. The buying lady, it may be a 2 rupees, 3 rupee, whatever it may be, it fell through. So the agony in her face, I was really touched that she couldn't sell those small few mangoes to this other lady who is really wanting to buy. So such type of things, why I'm just sharing this is by again observance, and you have to keep improving lives around us, whether it is private or public, otherwise Amrit Kal will never come. Why, when Amrit Kal will come? If you reach $13,750 per head by bringing the equality in the country, what we are trying to aspire to escape the line. So every one of has to, contribute. Otherwise, simply maximizing our own benefits or our comforts will not be bringing us the Amrit Kal or Vikasit Bharat 2047. So that deal didn't went through. So what is the lesson for me is that still we have to take care of the systems and every minute detail under our control has to be taken care of so that the processes will converge and the objectives will be achieved. Today's challenges cannot be solved by departments functioning in isolation. Finance, technology, operations, human resources, governance, and strategy must work together seamlessly. One major challenge in implementing new IT systems and institutional reforms is resistance to change. Right now, I am facing that same thing. You see, the South Coast Railway zone has been sanctioned with 1,100 people. And in government, it's a lot of democratic process. You can't simply, unlike the defense forces, where the other experience is that they will, once you order, they will go lock, stock, barrel and put their tents and guard the borders. In civil administration, everything they will go to union, they will ask that they have to be a process of democracy, more equitable. So now out of the 1,100, only 300 people have joined. The board also says that you have a lot of IT systems, you have PRS, you have POIS, you have e-office, you have this thing, you have that thing, but that doesn't work that like that. People also are required, but how? This is a challenge now. So maybe the decisions will get delayed. That outcome we will come to know after some time. So the top management is also aware. The technology implementation is therefore not merely a software exercise, it is a change management exercise. Friends, I would like to emphasize the importance of emotional intelligence and self-awareness. In professional life, technical competence may create opportunities. However, emotional maturity sustains leadership. The finest leaders are often the most attentive listeners, like you are all listening to me and bearing with me. Thanks you, thanks to all of you. I feel that some value I am adding. As participants in this executive program, you are entering not merely classroom, but a leadership laboratory. That's what I was talking about. As a PAL, Abdul Jamin Poverty Aviation Laboratory, they bring data from the field, from sub-Saharan Africa and Asia, and then they will experiment. That's where many of the Nobel laureates also coming from that poverty alleviation lab. The current Abhijit Banerjee is also from there. The peer group around you will itself become one of your greatest teachers. That's what Sir has said. Use this opportunity to question assumptions, challenge conventional thinking, build networks, develop strategic perspectives, and most importantly, understand yourself better. Because this is the time you got something free time so that you calibrate yourself and understand better. I would also like to say a few words about ethics and integrity. In a professional life, competence may provide opportunities, however, integrity ensures longevity. The reputation is built gradually over decades and can be lost within moments. Institutions remember trustworthy leaders. Team place their trust in ethical leaders. Nations progress through credible institutions. Credible institution like IIM Visakhapatnam, which has done leaps and bounds. And I'm sure Sir was explaining that another 750 capacity campus is coming. As future leaders, you must therefore aspire not merely for success, but for meaningful and responsible success. Friends, India's rise in the coming decades will depend not only on policies or capital, it will depend upon quality of leadership available across institutions, public and private. The participants seated in this hall today may tomorrow lead corporations. I wish so. Infrastructure projects, technology enterprises, financial institutions, startups, public systems, and policy ecosystems. For many of you may be knowing that now the lateral shift into government from the private is also an opportunity to participate in the policy ecosystem. Your decisions will influence not merely balance sheets but society itself. IIM Visakhapatnam is providing you with a powerful platform. Use it fully, learn deeply, think independently, lead responsibly. I once again congratulate all participants and convey my best wishes to the faculty and organizers for this excellent initiative. May this inaugural PGDMEx batch become a benchmark for future executive leadership programs in the country. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. No, sir. I'm done, sir. 11 o'clock.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening address. I'm sure the participants will remember your words for a long time and will follow your advice to gain the most out of this program. I would now like to extend my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of IIM Visakhapatnam to all of you who have gathered here today for the inaugural session of the very first batch of PGDMEx. Let me take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Pudi Hariprasad. Despite his demanding schedule, he graciously accepted our invitation to grace the occasion and inaugurate the program. Thank you, sir. Your presence has added a significant level of prestige and encouragement to this event. As a token of our gratitude, I request Professor Chandrasekhar to present a memento to Dr. Pudi Hariprasad. I would also like to thank Shri Manvendra for accepting our invitation. I request Professor Chandrasekhar to present a memento to Shri Manvendra as a token of our gratitude.
India. Yeah.
I would like to thank Professor M. Chandrasekhar, the director of IIM Visakhapatnam, for addressing the gathering. Thank you, sir. You have consistently been a source of guidance and inspiration for all of us here at IIMV. I also express my thanks to the program chair, Professor Amit Shankar, and Deepthi from the programs office. I would also like to thank the dedicated team from the admissions office, especially Hari, for their instrumental role in facilitating a seamless admissions process and for bringing all of you together here for this program. I also thank the admissions committee members for their continuous support and guidance. I'd also like to express my gratitude to all the faculty members who took time out of their packed schedules to be part of the interview panels that selected all the participants that are sitting here today. And last but not the least, I would also like to express our appreciation to our dedicated team from the programs office, IT, projects, and admin team who have worked tirelessly to organize and execute this event. Without their efforts, today's events would not have been possible. Thank you once again. With this, we conclude the inaugural ceremony. I would request everyone to join outside for a group photograph followed by high tea. Okay.